But we all have challenges in our lives. Sometimes things go great, and sometimes we're thrown with a different challenge. And it's really how we manage those challenges on a day-to-day basis. So I didn't want to talk about my recent challenge, but what I do want to talk about is you. I want to know how you're doing. And whether or not you are working or you have a business or you're a grandparent, how are you doing? Because we each have our own challenges and we each have to learn how to ignite our groove. So the other thing I want to talk about is that notion of reward. Now, I didn't talk about that in the boot camp, but I want to talk a little bit about it. Um, to be honest, I'm not the type of person that uh, needs external type of rewards. I'm more of an intrinsic type of reward person, not so much external. So I remember, and I'll just try to keep this story brief, but years ago, when I first moved to Ottawa, one of my first jobs was at a weight loss clinic, and I was a consultant, was weight loss consultant. Now, unbeknownst to me, the whole purpose of it was to sell our products. Because I really didn't like that part. What I liked about it is the fact that I could inspire women, motivate women. It was mostly women. There were some men as well, but inspire them and motivate them to maintain their program and to inspire them to maybe to challenge themselves a little bit more. That to me was what was really important. But to the company, it wasn't. It was all about sales. And I didn't really care much about sales. So, uh, you know, of course, I did my job, but I was never rewarded for the top salesperson because I didn't care. That is not what motivated me. So it's important to know what motivates you. Now, I do have a webinar on that, so I don't want to get into that too much, but suffice to say that we all get motivated, we all ignite our groove in different ways. Is it something that's going to be internal or is it something that's external to you? Something to think about. Now, you may know too that I go for walks. Not every day. I wasn't able to go for much of a walk when I was in Sudbury in the last few days. I came back on Thursday. But I did go for a great walk yesterday and I created a very brief live from one of my favorite coffee shops in Rockland because I live in Rockland, not in Ottawa. And that's the reward is not just going to the coffee shop. The reward for me in some cases is going to the walk. So for today, I did some work this morning. I finalized a couple of things that I wanted to do. And now, as soon as I'm done my live, I'm going to reward myself by going for a walk. And I might go to that coffee shop. We'll see. I'll make it a point to remember to bring my mask. So think about that. I want you to think about what excites you, what motivates you, and what type of rewards can you give yourselves. Now, some of us want to feel success after a certain amount of time. So I want to mention that success isn't always huge. Successes can be very, very small. So let's try to view successes as minute actions that we take towards that larger goal or that larger vision. For example, if I'm looking for work, success would be, and I'm going to be pushing it here, but success would be sitting in front of the computer and working on my job search for at least half an hour. Maybe that's what I've defined it. Maybe this week I want to at least uh, do some job search 3 times and spend at least half an hour on my job search. So that means that if I've sat down in front of my computer once, that is a step towards that success, right? So I could celebrate that. And if I've done 3 times for at least that half an hour, well, that's even better. But each of those actions I'm going to encourage you to look at that as being successful. So it's shifting the mindset. I used to compare myself to everybody, to everybody when I was younger. And not even just when I was younger, but even in my 30s and 40s and 50s. I used to compare myself to everybody. And of course, everybody has their own journey, everybody has their own challenges, everybody has their own ways of defining success. So if I define success by comparing myself to others, I might not be successful at all. I can use that friendly competition to motivate me and to inspire me. But if I'm striving to be like them, I may never be successful. So forget that. And this is what I'm encouraging you to consider is forget comparing yourself to other people. Use them as maybe ways of inspiring you, but they're not you. You have your own talents, you have your own skills, you have your own way of motivating you. And the fact that I'm going to be going for a walk really soon and feeling that fresh air, and even if it was cold, it's not that bad outside right now, but even if it was cold, I'd still go, because I want to go. Right, there's a difference between wanting to go and needing to go. I want to go outside to get that fresh air, and that is part of how I'm rewarding myself. And of course, when I come back from my walk, that's a success for me. So redefine how you view success and consider what are your rewards. And maybe a reward is a great hug from someone. Maybe a reward is a great cup of coffee. I love the pumpkin spice lattes, and sometimes I'll use that as a reward. So I want you to be thinking about that. Those
So,
that are
rewards and what motivates you? Is it intrinsic? Is it inside? Do you find your own things to motivate you? Or do you kind of get motivated from other people's attitudes, other people's comments, competition when you see other people do well and that motivates you? Whatever it is, it's important for you to know what it is so that you can use that to continue to ignite your groove. This is Linda G. Robert, your Back in the Groove Again coach. For more information on my services, go to my website, backinthegrooveagain.com, and book a Back in Your Groove Again strategy session. Bye now.